Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of NewTek Tuesday Tutorials. My name is Richard Evans and today we are going to take a look at a task that might seem trivial but it is very important. And that's staying up to date with the latest and greatest software that NewTek has to offer by updating your TriCaster. So there's a few different ways to do it. Let me show you how. Alright, so here we are in a TriCaster TC1 session. And the first thing that I want to do is find out what software build that I'm currently on this machine. So to find that out, hold down on your keyboard the Alt and B buttons. And as soon as you do that, you'll see in the top right corner a little notification, the notification center. And if I click on that, check it out. First notification here will say TriCaster TC1200116 is my current software build. So I think that I am on the wrong one. So we'll go ahead and close this and let's exit out of this session all the way to the main menu. Now if you're not in a session and want to check what software version you're on, you can click on the help icon here and then about TC1 or about TriCaster, whichever TriCaster model you're running. And in this pop-up here, the top line will say NewTek TC1, whatever you're running, and then also the build number, which is 7-1-200116C as in Charlie, which is the wrong one, I believe. So let's go ahead and to update this, I'm going to click on Shutdown, and then I'm going to exit out to my administrator mode and exit all the way out to Windows. Alright, so now that we're out in Windows, we'll have to open up an internet browser. And we'll open up Internet Explorer here, and we'll visit our downloads page at newtek.com/downloads. And from here, all you have to do is scroll down the page until you find the product that applies to your particular update. So again, in my situation, I have the TriCaster TC1 that I need to update, and if I take a look, the current version here at the time that I filmed this video is 7-1-200210. So I am on the wrong version, so let's go ahead and update it. So click on the download tab here, and you'll see at the bottom it says, do you want to run this download NewTek TC1 EXE? We'll go ahead and run that, or you can save it, but I'm just going to run it here because it's just the executable file for this. Okay, now from here, this is the setup for the update. So there's two different choices that we can do here. One is going to be download and install, and what that'll do is it will download all the necessary update files and files associated with those updates, install it, and then delete those files. Or we can just do download only, and it will just download those files and it will keep them on the hard drive for us to use at a later time, which I'll show here in a bit. But for the easiest, simple way to update your TriCaster, just go ahead and click download and install, and then we'll click next. I'll ask you to read the license agreement. We accept. Okay, now from here, this allows you to select which update components that you want to install on your TriCaster. So you'll see here on this list we have the TC1 upgrade, which is the software, all right, and then beneath that is going to be the content, then also the virtual set editor and its available content, and also the animation store creator with its content, and also the NDI-HX drivers here. Now for this particular example, I'm going to uncheck all of these except for the top one here for my upgrade for the software. All right, we'll click next, and now we're basically just installing the software. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through all of this and skip to the next part. All right, so now we're going to be installing the software. So we'll click on I accept the agreement, click next, and this just gives you notes about what is contained within said update. And click next to that. Select your default language, so in my case I'm using English. And then it will uninstall previous versions and install the newest software. Now keep in mind, some versions of this update will prompt you to update the core of your TriCaster, and if that message shows up, just let it do its thing to proceed into the download. It's not doing it on my particular install here today, but just to let you know, you might get another pop-up asking you to update the core of the TriCaster. Alright, now that the update is complete, you'll be prompted that you're going to be signed out of your TriCaster. So save anything that you might have going on in the background here, because it will power down your TriCaster to successfully, fully install all of your software. Alright, so I have booted up my TriCaster here, and depending on which software, it might ask you to accept the end user license agreement. So from here we can check on which version of the software we are currently running by, again, clicking on the help icon, and then about TriCaster TC1, and boom, it's done. Build number 7-1-200210 Charlie. Awesome. So that method of updating your TriCaster is probably the easiest one. It will download the install files, install them, and then delete them and get rid of them after you're done. But my personal practice that I like to do is I like to download those install files and keep them around and store them on, say, my D drive, just in case I need to restore my system or if I need to use them for some other time. So let me show you that step too. So we're going to click on Shutdown, then go to Administrator Mode, and exit out to Windows. And let's go ahead and we'll go back to the Internet Explorer page, because again, right now on the other update that I did, what it did was it installed the files and then afterwards just deleted the installation application after the fact. So what I want to show you now is another way. This is kind of how I do things. So I'll go back to the same page here and go to the TriCaster TC1 download update. All right, we'll go ahead and run that one. Now, instead of choosing download and install, I'm going to select download only. All right, now if I click next here, same thing, and user license agreement. Now from here you'll see that this gives me an option to save this to my C drive under this TriCaster build with today's date that I filmed this video on. Now I want to change that because if I needed to do like a software restore or something like that, the software restore is going to wipe my C drive clean, so anything that's on there would be lost. So what I want to do now is just install this particular update onto a completely different drive, so that won't be touched. So if I click Browse here, you'll see that I have a couple different drives to choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and use my D drive, so I can navigate to that, or I like the naming of this, so I'll just go ahead and hit backspace, put D drive instead of C drive, and click Next. And again, I only want to concern myself with the top file here. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through this again. All right, now that process has completed, but as you see, it didn't install anything. It just really just downloaded the files. So let's go ahead and find those. So I'll open up a File Explorer window here and navigate to my D drive. And boom, right there, that is the folder that I need to be in. So let me go ahead and open that up. And you'll see from here, I only have the updater for the TriCaster software. So what you'll see whenever you download these updates, even if you're getting like the content and also Animation Store Creator and Virtual Set Editor, etc., you're going to notice that there's going to be in the top here, the first file here is the application, the exe file, and then also you'll see some other files that are similarly named but with a .bin extension at the end of those. You don't need to worry about those. You just need to make sure though that if you have the application file that these bin files follow it. So if you move these files around, just make sure that they're all together. And then all you have to do now is double click on the TriCaster TC1 update, and it will prompt you to go through that same update process that I did earlier. So that way, if you need to restore your TriCaster or you just want to have this software build around for later use, you have it here right in that file location that you have specified. So a couple different ways you can do this, but important to stay updated with the latest software for your TriCaster. Now, if you like this video but want a little bit more, make sure you go to newtek.com/demo to sign up for your free personalized, interactive TriCaster demos. Well, I'll show you some more of the ins and outs of our systems. Also, be sure to check with your local reseller or visit www.newtek.com for more information on all of our products. And for more videos like this one, be sure to visit our YouTube site at youtube.com/NewTekInc. Until then, thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in next time for another edition of NewTek Tuesday Tutorials.